Well, you got sentenced to life plus 40 at 26 years old. What did that do to your head to know that you may not ever go outside ever again?
It made me, personally, it turned me to worse than what I was. Because in the people prison, I was worse than I was on the streets, you know? And when I first went into the BOP system, it was 5 United States penitentiaries. When I left, it was 20, and I've been to all of them, some of them 2-3 times. And that's because every prison I was in, I stabbed somebody. Every prison I was in, I got drugs and I sold them. Every prison I was in, if the COs got on the line with me, I bust them up. You see what I'm saying? See, I was in prison acting a fool for 27 years. I'm talking about, I didn't see the light until they called me and told me that I was immediate release. And when they told me I was immediate release, I'm in the tank waiting to get the people to bring me a bus ticket. My mind was on, when I hit them streets, oh, they finna see what was happening with me. Oh, they gonna know who I am. You see what I'm saying? My mindset was going straight back out here with foolishness. But that ain't how God seen it. He sent me to a county jail in Dufferfield, Virginia. They put 3 counts of first-degree attempted murder, a second-degree murder, an armed robbery, and a felon in possession of a firearm, charges that was outdated by 30 years, that they put on me and put a detainer on me. Them 30 days in that jail, and seeing all those little white kids in Dufferfield, Virginia, everybody around that was on meth, that was in that jail. I hadn't seen not one black in there, but nothing but little white. And that gave me a whole nother outlook on life. Why am I thinking about going out there, doing all this crazy stuff when you got people like this here going through what they going through? So it ain't just over there in my spot, it's over here in this spot. You understand what I'm saying? That's why, when I got out, I felt like I'm gonna be a soldier for God. That's what my life changed there, Vlad.
Well, let's talk about as you're going into prison. Well, now you're going in as a lifer. And you go in and you link up with the Louisiana car, but also with the Crip car, because you had connections when you were out. Now, Louisiana, Baton Rouge didn't really have Crips and Bloods back then, right? So now you're actually working with 2 different crews. How bad were the politics in prison during that time?
The politics is still bad in prison, but, it most definitely was bad. It might be a little worse than that because, a lot of them, again, it's so much different synthetic stuff, and a lot of them kids, I'm younger, they don't have no understanding. But the politic was so thick, until you might be on certain yards and it ain't nobody from Louisiana. I done been on yards, it wasn't nobody from Louisiana, it wasn't no Crips on the yard. You know what I'm saying? And it bees like that, because everything go by wherever you go at. If you in California, if you ain't a Crip or you ain't a Blood, and you from Louisiana, Texas, you gonna be a down south car. If you in Hazleton, Virginia, and you from anywhere in the South, if you're not a GD, Vice Lord, Crip or Blood, if you're not gang affiliated, you're gonna be in a down south car. So everything is a car. But when I come in, by me being from Louisiana, you know what I'm saying, and I done been, it's with nobody in there with me. 2 old men that had been there. They got life sentence. One of them been there 30 years, and nothing was already in there 27 years. But it was like 2 Crips that I was in YA with, and then you started down there, and one was my co-defendant from Texas. So, it's automatic. I get to, move with both cars. It is unheard of, for real. But I was, because, I'm not one of your originals. And then I was bussing. Everybody knew that I ain't had no understanding, Vlad. That's why when I tell you about that, the Freeway Rick or whoever you talk to, in the feds, my name just is worse up in the federal system than it was on the street, and it had to be like that because of what goes on in them system. It's a war, man. That's a war zone.
Well, you said in prison that you broke every rule, you stayed locked down, you were in every race riot and every war, and you kept a knife with you, and you stabbed a lot of people. How many people did you actually stab in prison during that time?
19 write-ups for stabbings. That's on my BOP record. That include the one that you ain't get caught for. You know, and being as that, because there's a lot of guys who go in prison, and I seen them dead 20 and 30 years, ain't never been in trouble a day in their life, never got a write-up. I just wasn't one of them dudes. See, I didn't enjoy being in prison. I didn't like being in prison. I didn't want to be in prison, you know. And I did everything that I could possibly thought I was to do to either make them kill me, the people, or somebody to kill me, you know, but I just wasn't going to follow the rules. It was my mindset. And I come in with, you got every gang, like I say, you got every gang in the world in here. And it's a lot of Mexicans against the blacks. There's a lot of, you had the skinheads, the dirty white boys, AB, this and that, against the black. It's a lot of that. And then there's a lot of black on black, So, and then me being who I was, see, I was front line. I'm out there, I'm in the field. So I can't duck no wreck. You know what I mean? So, I ain't missing. If I'm on that yard, there's any kind of ride, if it's dealing with me, I'm out there. It ain't got to be dealing with me. If it's white boys jumping on the black, I'm out there. Mexican doing something to the black, I'm out there. I don't care if you a GD, Vice Lord, Crip, Blood, you from China. That was my mindset,
Well, you yourself, did you ever get stabbed?
One time, and again, I think that was a sign from God, because that ain't had nothing to do with me. But I felt like it did, and I'm trying to weigh out, do I want to come home or do I want to stay in prison? And this is what God was trying to show me, because I'm sitting here trying to do a motion to get out on this, where I'm out right now. And a little youngin' come asking me about somebody else, and I snap, like, don't, because he really ain't supposed to come question me. And I knew he had a knife, because he telling me when he catch that person, he gonna put the knife on him. So I jump up and I smack him. And listen, he up with that knife and he went to swing, and he hit me one time. And when he hit me, I wound up taking it from him, and I hit him like 12 times with it. The police run up, the CO sprayed me with the mace, but that one time could have killed me, because I'm talking about so close to my heart till they had to put a tube in it. He was in the hospital about 3 days. I was in there 2 weeks.